There's a proper panic among the paragliders. MeteoAlarm has been sounding the alarm since Monday, and whoever is able goes somewhere. I choose Rana, but I don't have a car, so Redeem is taking me, thanks. The models are recalculating the weather a bit the day before, but it's still good. The wind is supposed to be stronger, but again there is less risk of convective precipitation. It's already blowing 5 meters per second on Rana at 9 AM and it's supposed to get stronger, so I'm worried about getting a start at all, or possibly thermaling later. But by 10 it calms down, and when I get to the takeoff it's only blowing about 1 to 2 from the west. Apart from the pupils who declare they just want to get it down, nobody wants to do it. David is noticing a windsock turn on the landing zone, but doesn't want to take any chances anyway, but I do. I jump in, lift a bit on the next apex, then almost land on the takeoff again, but I pick it up and after a while I'm thermal. Soon the others jump in and the ice is broken. At about 1,500 meters I think there's a wind shear, so I drop out and fly to the others. In the meantime they fly to my original spot, where it was better after all. To my surprise, they go upwind, I fly downwind. I fly a little sideways into the wind to get out of the airspace. Reaches are supposed to be around 2,300, so it makes sense. At Lytomeris I manage to get out of the airspace but have to go back for thermal, so I use my big ears at FL 65. Then I manage to hold a good altitude. There's a blue wing below me struggling. I learn from my friend's notifications that it's probably Corel. Then Peppa almost reaches me once, but flies sideways, I guess for a triangle, which is not confirmed. I continue downwind. I managed to climb almost up to 2,300 meters, and one time I fly next to a cloud practically without descending with a glide ratio of 17 to 1. Around 1,000 meters above the ground I always manage to find something else so I don't have to bail out from low altitude. I'm not picky, I'll thermal just about anything. It might start at less than 1 meter per second, but if I'm patient and track down the core, it sometimes makes for a cool lift. Sometimes I thermal a 1 meter per second in 2000. I fly downwind, so it doesn't cost me much. But with strong thermal comes strong sink. One time I get into -6 meters per second and can't get out of it, so I really drop a lot. One time I get saved by a buzzard about a mile in. From a distance I can see it thermals in my level and I know ahead of time that I'm saved. I can't practically navigate by the clouds today. The fact that they are slowly breaking up makes them a big mess. Plus they're stacked all over the place. It's not clear which ones will still work and which ones will flush. That's why I'm orienting myself by the ground even high. I usually choose a town, a body of water, or at least a forest boundary behind a field. I try to fly where it's at least a little lit, even if it means flying into a blue hole. A couple of times a cloud will appear at the top of my thermal, so I don't have to avoid it difficultly like the big old clouds. I also get to enjoy the scenery, beautiful rocks, castles, and chateaus, which I will have to find out what they are actually called afterwards. In the distance I can see the giant mountains and stare at how much snow is still there. A few flakes are falling on me too, but fortunately I'm on the leading edge of a big cloud that's shedding it, so I'm out of it in no time. Behind me, though, I can see that there is quite a lot falling below its center. Gradually everything is being swallowed up by the shadow and conditions are noticeably weakening. Occasionally I manage to thermal some 1 meter per second. When I get out of it, I drop 1 to 2. No bombs like at the start of the flight. I try to fly over the last lit spot, but by the time I get there, it's getting shaded there too. Low above ground I notice a buzzard scratching some 0 there, but it's not enough for me. Before the flight, I thought I'd want to land at about 5 p.m. I don't like to take off early because then I land at 2 p.m. and spend the best part of the day on the ground. I actually land at 5:01, so it worked out great. I spent the best part of the day in the air, plus quite a bit before and after. I'm glad I didn't come up with any bullshit. The wind's blowing, so thermal and go downwind. I did fly some kilometers, which I consider secondary. My biggest joy is that I lasted over 4 hours in the air, which I have never managed to do before. I thank Krusty for the ongoing support messages that showed in notifications. I don't keep track of how far I've flown when I fly so I don't get distracted, so the Krusty knew before I did thanks to the live tracking. I pack quickly, which allows me to catch my train in a nearby village. But unfortunately it is running 5 minutes late, so I miss the connecting bus and instead of 2 hours I take 3.5 to Prague. But I'm glad anyway, at least I didn't leave my car in Rana.